The XPS 13's most striking feature is its infinity display, which has almost no bezel around the screen. This is what allows Dell to cram a 13-inch screen into a chassis you'd typically find on an 11-inch notebook. It also makes it look like the screen is floating above the base of the system, allowing you to focus more on your content. You'll find two USB 3.0 ports and an SD card reader, as well as a headphone jack and USB Type-C port with Thunderbolt 3 support. That means you can attach the XPS 13 to two 4K monitors at once. You can also charge the XPS 13 over USB Type-C, though it comes with a proprietary AC adapter. You have two display options on the Dell XPS 13, and both of them are pretty great. There's a Full HD, non-touch screen model with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and a matte finish. Or, if you want to spend $1,599, there's a Quad HD touchscreen model with a higher resolution of 3200 by 1800 pixels. This glossy panel also offers richer colors, though it's more reflective. The stereo speakers on the XPS 13 get plenty loud, but the sound gets a little harsh at maximum volume. But that's at the default settings. When I turned up the bass in the Waves Max Audio Pro app, Sublime's What I Got sounded more balanced. The guitar plucks mixed well with the punchy drum line. The typing experience on the XPS 13 continues to be fairly comfortable. The 1.2mm of travel is a little less than the HP Spectre's 1.3mm, but it offered springy feedback. I reached 71 words per minute on the 10fastfingers.com typing test, which is a bit below the 78 WPM I reached on the flatter MacBook keyboard. We reviewed two models of the Dell XPS 13. One came equipped with the 7th generation Core i5-7200U, Kaby Lake processor, 8GB of RAM, a 256GB hard drive and 1080p display. The other included a Core i7-7500U CPU, 8GB of RAM, 256GB SSD and a 3200 by 1800 touchscreen. Both sets of components provided swift performance and everyday use on our lab tests, even if the difference between this generation and the last model isn't that substantial. The XPS 13 also turned in an improved score on 3DMark Firestrike, notching 916, 927 on Core i7. The Yoga 910 had a comparable score of 915, but the HP Spectre 801 fared worse, with an older Intel 520 graphics card. The Dell XPS 13's killer 1535 wireless AC card, which comes standard on all configurations, is one of my favorite features. In fact, if I had this laptop instead of my 12-inch MacBook when I was working from home, I'd have a much easier time staying connected to my office. The biggest weakness of the XPS 13 is its webcam, and it's not because of the picture quality. Because there's no room above the display, Dell placed the camera below the screen, on the left side, right near the hinge. This odd placement results in a very unflattering angle of your chin, as I experienced during a Skype video chat with a colleague. The Dell XPS 13 was already one of the longest-lasting ultraportables on the market, and the new version includes a beefier 60-watt-hour battery, up from 56 watt-hours on the previous model. As a result, the new non-touch version of the XPS 13 offers truly epic endurance, lasting 13 hours and 49 minutes on the laptop mag web surfing battery test. We set all screens at 100 nits of brightness. The XPS 13 stayed relatively cool to the touch, but the bottom got toasty under pressure. After we streamed a movie for 15 minutes, the touchpad reached just 80 degrees Fahrenheit, the keyboard hit 85 degrees and the bottom was 90 degrees. All of those numbers are below our 95-degree comfort threshold. Dell happily keeps the bloat to a minimum on the XPS 13. You'll find McAfee Live Safe, Dropbox, and Microsoft Office, though you have to activate the latter. You'll also find 4 programmable software titles, such as Flipboard, Groove Music and Twitter, which are managed by Windows 10 and are part of the standard software load. The Dell XPS 13 starts at $799, but we don't think that configuration gives you the most bang for your buck. That model comes with just a 7th generation Core i3 CPU, 4GB of RAM and a 128GB SSD. We recommend stepping up to a Core i5 processor, 8GB of RAM and 128GB SSD for $999. The big trend in laptops right now is making your system as thin and light as possible, but at the expense of shorter battery life and too few ports. The XPS 13 doesn't cave to that peer pressure, and instead gives you nearly 14 hours of endurance and all the connection options you need in a design that's plenty light and compact for travel. Plus, the new XPS 13 offers a very strong Wi-Fi card, which allowed me to connect in parts of my abode where the 12-inch MacBook barely maintains a signal. The 7th generation Core i5 processor and SSD in the XPS 13 offer plenty of speed, and I like that there's enough oomph to play casual 3D games. This Thunderbolt is also comfortable to use, thanks to its soft touch deck and accurate touchpad. Yes, the webcam is still in a weird place, but overall, the XPS 13 remains the laptop to beat.